the top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of cover prices. Data, that's right, data, not speculation, data. Cover Price releases their top 10 list on Mondays. We are a live Friday show. We dive into that top 10 list, but we do something a little different where Chris dives into his top 3 most interesting picks of the week. And you know what, Chris, we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to read these slowly so everybody understands what we have going on here this week. All right? Here we go. Here we go. There we go. There is the list right there. And I need to scroll up because I'm not prepared. All right, at number 10 is The Department of Truth. Number 1, this is the FRISON cover B. This is a series I was talking about earlier. I picked up issue 6. I'm up to issue 5 reading it. It's fantastic, and it just got picked up by a production company. Doesn't mean it's going to be greenlit, but it's looking pretty good because that production company produced Chernobyl. At number 9 is The Department of Truth, the A cover A. At number 8, who would have ever thought this? X-Force number 1 with the Deadpool trading card. Oh my God, we live in an interesting day and age. At number 7, we have Marvel Spotlight. Number 4, the first appearance of the Darkhold. Everybody's speculating that is what we see in WandaVision. At number 6, that's right, number 6, we have Fantastic Four 185, the first appearance of Nicholas Scratch. Everybody saw that Agatha's bunny is named Scratch. Nicholas Scratch is actually Agnes's son in the comic books. At number 5, we have Captain Marvel. Number 1. This is a giant-sized Captain Marvel number 1, her first solo book. Taskmaster number 3 is the first appearance of TAEGUKGI, a brand new Korean superhero. At number 3, we have Spawn number 1. There was only one cover. No, there were many covers back then. At number 2, we have Black Cotton number 1. At number 1, we have Avengers, the Initiative featuring Reptile number 1, the first appearance of Reptile. Oh man, Chris, what a week, what a week, what a week. An interesting week indeed.
Lots of fun stuff. That Reptile, not in my top 3, but picking up steam in Reptile has a number 1 book of a series coming out in just a few months. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, my top 3 though, very interesting picks. A lot of WandaVision. A lot of WandaVision going on. So let's get into it. How about my number 3? And it is Marvel Spotlight number 4, Werewolf by Night. This book is, and I love this book simply because I love 20-cent Marvel stuff. But guys, this is the first appearance of the Darkhold. Okay, so let me talk about why this book's getting hot. There may be some spoilers if you didn't watch last week's WandaVision, so hopefully you all watched it by now. So we know that Agatha Harkness brings Wanda into the basement dungeon, and we see a book. We see a book in the dungeon, and everyone is assuming it's the Darkhold. Now, we don't know that. There's actually other mystic or dark magic books in the Marvel universe that this book could be. Cover Price, love them to death. They did notate that the episode 7 reveal was the Darkhold. That's not 100% accurate because we actually don't know yet. But that's what fans are speculating. So it's really pushed this book up. It had a 230% increase in sales with a high sale from a CGC 9.0 selling for $429. That is solid. So look, we saw the Darkhold in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was loosely tied to the MCU. So that makes me question, is Kevin Feige going to bring that book into the MCU when we've already had that going on the last few years in the loosely tied in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that we know that Kevin Feige doesn't really want to pay much attention to at this point? I don't know. Jeff, what are your thoughts? Darkhold, not the Darkhold?
Right now, my thoughts are I'm having problems putting myself back in, and I don't know. It was really annoying. I'm sorry, guys. What do I think, Darkhold or not Darkhold? I'll tell you what. What I do think is Kevin Feige is not going to shy away from anything that was done on Marvel TV if it was popular, right? Because there was a lot of things that were done right on Marvel TV. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was up and down, peaks and valleys, and that there's some great things about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There were not so great things about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. There's some amazing things about the Netflix shows, not so amazing things about the Netflix shows. Now, again, I'm not sure if this is the Darkhold. I'm not sure if it has any connection to the Darkhold, but I will say, do not limit ourselves as saying, oh, that was on Marvel TV. It will never be in the MCU, because that is not the case. We haven't seen it yet. We've seen ties, like you see Nick Fury in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., those kinds of things, but Kevin Feige will not shy away from that. That's all I have to say about that. I honestly don't know. This series is throwing me for loops, and I just want to also throw this out here too. We're going to have our Q&A after this, and we're going to talk about Wanda at the get-go. If you guys have not seen that, we will make sure to give you fair warning, because there will be spoilers, so please drop. Not that we don't want to see you. We just don't want you to be spoiled on our show. But anyways, again, Feige will not shy away from anything that has been done in the past.
And keep in mind, well, one thing, Kevin Feige might be the one to say, you did that, I could do it better. Right?
Well, he can. But, let's be honest. He can.
Right, which is the truth. And we know that I do believe it was Wong who mentioned the Darkhold to Doctor Strange in the Doctor Strange movie, and that the book was missing. There's
been these little crossovers there, and there have been the creators of each of the shows, and not so much the films, but saying this is tied into the MCU. But we'll see how far it goes. And the Darkhold is something that people are speculating this is what it is in WandaVision. We will see. Hopefully that will get cleared up next week. I would not expect everything being cleared up at the end of next week's episode. I'm going to say that as well. Chris.
Absolutely.
Enough with that book. We're moving on to your second most interesting book of the week. What do you got, Christopher?
All right. Number 2 on the list. Number 2 on the list. Another book that is just WandaVision driven. And boy, I'm loving this, man. This is Giant Size Special Captain Marvel #1. This is the first solo title for Monica Rambeau's Captain Marvel. Little spoiler for this episode. She wasn't in this episode, but I'm just loving her character. I'm just loving it. I know that she's going to come back in the final episode, and we're going to see some things go down. But this book had a 311% increase in sales. Anything Monica Rambeau is hot right now. Get this. Okay, this is what's just crazy. A high sale CGC 9.8 sold for $350. This book, like, how many people a year ago or so, like, even knew about this book? I'm going to tell you, not as many that do now. And if I can show you guys what I have right here. So I have my little copy right here that I bought for like 50 cents. I don't know when. And it just came out of the press. I gave a half press. The back looks like a 9.8. Oh, but not the front. I got to press up the front, though. I think mine's more like a 9.2, maybe higher than that after I press the front out. But still very happy to have it in this book. I'm telling you, these books are hot. And as I always say when we talking about hot books, don't ever just go buy something that we talk about. You got to love the book, love the characters, be willing to take risks. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with Monica Rambeau. I think she is here to stay in the mind and in the hearts of the fans. I think she's freaking killing it. We're going to see her in Captain Marvel 2. Could literally, like, let me just say this. Like, I can literally, as much as I love WandaVision, I can literally like replay her scenes and just like be like,
excellent.
This is great.
Hey, we don't normally do this. We're going off track here, but I have to say I like this question from Cali Comics. Where do you guys stand on the Spectrum or Photon situation? I'm going to tell you guys where I stand. I think it's Spectrum. I think she will be called Spectrum. Her mom was called Photon. Okay. Yep. But here's a disclaimer. Maybe it's as an ode to her mom, she would be called Photon. But I think Spectrum is a stronger possibility than Photon. Chris, your thoughts?
I absolutely agree. And I agree 120% with what you just said. Same thing. I believe it's Spectrum, but they could say, oh, well, your mom was Photon. We're going to call you Photon. I don't think that's it. And I think that the way, again, Marvel set it up and they're allowing us to think these things is on purpose. And it's so great. But yeah, I definitely think it's Spectrum. And what I also think is that there's going to be something going on. There's going to be something going on where she may even pick up a Captain Marvel mantle somewhere down the line. But keep in mind, even Captain Marvel wasn't called Captain Marvel in the Captain Marvel film, and we didn't get her name until Endgame. So, I think, look, there's something unsaid going on between Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers that we don't know about. And I'm thinking, I'm going long shot here.
Definitely.
Long shot. Rogue is gonna take Captain Marvel's powers in Captain Marvel 2, and Spectra, Monica Rambeau, is gonna take the Captain Marvel mantle. There's a reason. There's a reason why they keep calling her Captain in WandaVision.
I agree. Here's one thing I want to be careful of here. Simply Chellix. I was stubborn, not wanting to give into the hype, and figured I'd wait to binge the whole season after it ended, but I don't know. Now I'm rethinking. We're going to try and keep any spoilers to a minimum for you. Apologies. Okay. That's all we have to say about that. No more WandaVision talk until after the top 10 hottest comics of the week, because we still have one more that Chris is diving into. Chris, what is that book? Let us know.
I think wasn't there another WandaVision book that I could have picked on this list? But my number one book, I don't have this book, and I want to get this book. I want to read it for myself, and I want my son to read it. Black Cotton, number 1. This is Scout Comics. This was number 2 on the list, but my number 1 pick. So get this. Cover Price calls this book, quote, a very thoughtful and provocative book that earned its place on this list for simply being a great read. I love that. To all of you that say, nobody even reads comic books anymore. Yeah, get out of here, man. Get out of here. This is a beautiful thing. Now, I'm going to tell you guys the synopsis of this storyline, okay? I'm going to read it. Set in an alternative reality where the social order of white and black is reversed, an elitist family, the Coltons, are rocked by a tragic shooting that begins to unravel long-standing family secrets that can not only destroy the family, but also divide the fragile social climate of the world. Wow. Who said comic books were just about guys in spandex? Look, I have biracial children, and I'm just very interested in seeing what this book has to offer in painting a picture of saying, what would it be like to walk in their shoes? And that's serious for me, because being part of a biracial family, I experience the things that a lot of other people have the privilege to not experience simply because their skin color. And my son, my oldest son, he loves comic books. He's reading a lot of comic books, and he's been saying, I want to read some stuff other than superhero stuff. I got him Something's Killing the Children, got him some other things as well. But I think this really is something that can speak to him, is somebody that is, mixed race, biracial, who has experienced racism and bullying because of race firsthand himself. And so this is something I'm telling you guys, after the show, I'm going to go get on Amazon and my comic shop, and I'm going to look anywhere to try to find where I can find this book. And I'm going to buy a copy for myself and my son. I can't wait to read this.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, I don't know what's wrong with me today. It absolutely sounds interesting. I like how it turns things around, and we're living in an interesting day and age where things like this absolutely need to be talked about, whether it be on TV, whether it be in films or comic books. And it's important to talk about these things. I just had this conversation with my 5-year-old daughter today, not to judge people by the way they look, their religion, or how they think, or it's how they act, who they are as a person. And when it comes down to it, that's what it's about. And when she gets older, I'll have her understand about people who have been treated unfairly and why. So it's an interesting it's an interesting topic turned around, and I appreciate that as well. I would like to read reading that book. So that is our top 10 hottest comics of the week. We will have a new list next week.